String 1 is scanning. 1044, signal locked. 218, rate 0.3. Copy.
Контролируйте на НПУ-1.
Monitor on info 1.
Пока не горит.
What about причал format?
Работа депо, даже здесь.
Not activated, depot firing in progress. 210 range.
Напротив стыковочного узла.
Actually, we are right across against the docking port. Причал confirmed. 45 confirmed. Copy. Range 200.
And at a range of 200 meters, you're looking right down the barrel of the Prishal module through the crosshairs of the Soyuz external television camera.
In progress.
Flying over southern Morocco, the Soyuz MS-27 is now in a brief period of station keeping.
Favor. You are go to turn on floodlight and ECG mode.
Разрешение получено. Есть
Copy.
11:46:19.
11:46:19. Activating ECG of VSK. Okay.
С-17.
Sending S-17.
Подготовил. Выдаем.
Armed. Send.
Фару включили.
Floodlight is on.
Дальность 194.
Range 194.
Скорость 800.
And the rate is 0.08. We are across from the docking port. Copy.
Давайте причал с пульта по странице.
All right. Go for final approach from control panel. Copy. We are go to send in manual command from the motion display.
Flying just to the south of Casablanca, the Soyuz MS-27 is soon to begin its final approach for docking, running ahead of schedule.
11:47. 30.
Выдал причал.
Send причал.
Есть.
Range 170. Point 082. Copy. Final.
Импульс отработан, да.
Burn complete.
Дальность 170.
Range 170. Rate point 082. Copy. Final approach.
At a range of about 47 meters, the Soyuz will execute a braking thruster test and will activate its docking system.
Дальность 150.
Range 150. Rate unintelligible.
на 67.
130.67.
Рассеивающий экран не устанавливаем.
Just over 3 hours ago, that vehicle sat on the launch pad at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, now closing in on the final leg of its rapid journey to reach the International Space Station.
But not on VKO monitor. Copy. 0.67 is rate.
95, дальность скорость 0,54.
Soyuz flying over the Mediterranean at this hour.
0.54 range rate.
On final approach for docking, just 90 meters separating Soyuz from the Prishal module.
0.43.
Восемьдесят
80 and 0.35.
0.3 of a meter per second is the closure rate.
дальность 70 метров.
70 meters.
Индивидуально подтверждаем.
Point unintelligible. Confirm visual. Combined gas cell.
Правее, ниже полклетки.
Target is about half cell to the right and down.
Back to this view of the Prishal module's docking port. Almost in the crosshairs of this view from the Soyuz external television camera, less than 60 meters separating Soyuz from its port,
0.27.
closing at a rate of 0.2 of a meter per second.
Дальность скорость 0,15.
50 range, 0.15 range rate. Copy.
Есть информация о готовности СП.
We have readiness data.
Дмитрий 7.
The upper section of the Soyuz, where the docking probe is located, is the orbital module. The center section, where the 3 crew members are strapped in, is the descent module. And the white section, the rear of the Soyuz, if you will, along with the solar rays, is the instrumentation and propulsion module.
Range rate.
"36 meters now, the distance between Soyuz and the station. Everything is performing as planned, closing at a rate of just over 1/10 of a meter per second.
Station is half cell to the right. Crosshairs aligned.
Дальность 25, дальность 25, скорость. Дальность 25, дальность 25, скорость 0,11, скорость 0,11.
Rate 0.11, range 0.25.
Левее, ниже полклетки. Левее, ниже полклетки.
Unintelligible.
Принято.
Copy.
Есть база Р. Есть база Р. Дальность 20, скорость.
Base confirmed. Range 0.023. Target is practically in the center. Docking port is clear. Proceeding, copy.
Визуально чуть поменьше.
Range 0.015. Visually seems a bit closer. Rate 0.12. Half cell above. So that's pretty big discrepancy.
Soyuz now just 17 meters away. The proper closure rate of 1/10 of a meter per second in play.
Unintelligible. Rate 0.12. There is a slight discrepancy. Copy.
This Soyuz will park itself at the Prashal module next door to it, the Soyuz MS-26 at the Rosviet module, where the vehicle is located that will bring home Don Pettit, Alexei Ovchinin, and Ivan Wagner on April 19th U.S. time.
Small delta.
Standing by for contact and capture.
Метр.
1 meter. Rate 0.1.
We have contact. We have capture at 3:57 a.m. Central Time, 4:57 a.m. Eastern Time.
2.
As the International Space Station and Soyuz MS-27 flew 262 miles over western Russia.
Congratulations, Sergei. Congratulations on your arrival to the International Space Station. Thank you, Alexei.
Повторите.
Please repeat.
We'll now stand by for the relative motion of the two vehicles to settle down, initiating the retraction of the docking probe.
Display.
A flawless flight from launch pad to docking for Soyuz MS-27.
In work.
Johnny Kim, Sergei Ryzhikov, and Alexei Zabritsky have arrived at their home for the next several months. They will be on board the station until December.
Check-in parameters. Section 1. Thanks, 109. Number 2, 236. 502 for propellant.
Two Soyuz vehicles side by side at the International Space Station.
Now page 57.
MS-27 at the top of your screen, MS-26 at the bottom.
Preparing for R7 command. R7 input.
The flight from launch until docking was as smooth as glass for Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zabritsky.
Soyuz light deactivated. No, this is not correct.
Выдаем, принято, выдаем.
Now, S-18, this is their command for the Soyuz light.
12:00.
The trip for the three crew members took 3 hours and 10 minutes, with the launch occurring at 12:47 a.m. Central Time, 1:47 a.m. Eastern Time. Once again, docking occurring at 3:57 a.m. Central, 4:57 a.m. Eastern, over Western Russia.
Chicago start.
Понятно. Подождем. Все команды Земли самостоятельно не выдаем. Все команды Земли самостоятельно не выдаем.
Okay, some commands are from the ground.
Какие-нибудь пожелания есть? Что приготовить? Покушать?
Ребят, есть что-то?
Any preferences for food that you would like to have later?
Да нет, Леша, спасибо.
Not really, but thank you.
Штатно все.
And everything nominal.
Да, все хорошо. Спокойненько так долетели. Да.
We arrived
Да.
without any
Почти пораньше.
perturbation. It was great.
Фразу знакомые помнят.
We remember how it was before.
Favor, ответьте тут Москвы.
Favore, this is Moscow.
Фаворы на связи.
Go ahead.
На связи. Как слышно, Фаворов?
Moscow, how do you read us?
Все хорошо.
Yes, we read you. Favore.
13.
The docking probe has been retracted and hooks are now driving.
Now,
This will form a hard mate between Soyuz and Prishal.
S-13.
Once that's accomplished, leak checks will begin on both sides of the docking interface to ensure that we have an airtight seal. Prior to the opening of the hatches, that is scheduled about 2 hours and 15 minutes from now.
13. And do we start ECG? Not yet.
Пока нет. Вас понял.
Copy. Not yet.
Готовим С-13.
Preparing S-13 command. Sierra 13.
Moscow station, space to ground 1.
С-13. Как готовы?
Go ahead on space to ground 1.
S-13 command armed
Выдаем. 12:03.
and
Sergey, I'm ready to put Kavadev into the electrical control
Переход на люк
position.
закрыт. Есть электроразъем, светофорный approach.
transfer hatch closed.
You're a go.
Electrical connector.
The hooks are now closed on the Soyuz side of the docking interface. Next up, the closing of the hooks on the Prishal side.
Reissue the command.
3:40. Выдал повторно С-13.
S-13.
Есть крюки закрыты.
We have indication for hooks closed at 12:03:40.
Телевидение отключаем.
Do we turn off the video?
Фавора нет, пока не отключаем.
Not yet, Favore.
Вас понял.
Copy.
Фавора, ступенчато открываем РПВ-1.
Favore, now open O2 manual isolation valve.
Вас понял.
Step by
Открываем РПВ-1. У нас
Sergei Ryzhikov, the Soyuz commander, running through post-docking procedures to safe the vehicle.
Подача.
It was a flawless docking at 3:57 a.m. Central Time, 4:57 a.m. Eastern Time.
Открыт. Принято. Режим продувка 30 секунд. Правильно поняли?
30-second purge. Correct?
Верно, на 30 секунд ППРД режим продукции.
Принято.
Latches retracted. Cabin O2 valve.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Поехали.
3, 2, 1.
Давление 779 высота.
Pressure in SR 739.
Штанга СМ втянута. Штанга СМ втянута.
Probe retracted.
Moscow station, station ground 1.
3,
Go ahead on station ground
5
1.
seconds.
1. Закрываем.
I'm doing the closeout ops.
And transfer hatch to close.
Steps 10, 11, and 12.
Repress
For TV
signal
camera, yes,
complete.
please go ahead and do the closeout ops.
Pressure 790.
Copy.
Павора, закрывайте РПВ-1.
Moscow
Ready
station,
to
station
close
ground 1.
O2 manual
Please go ahead.
isolation valve.
Закрываем.
Yes, you have a go. Closing.
This is Mission Control Houston. We now have confirmation of the closing of the Prishal node module hooks. So we have a hard mate now between the Soyuz MS-27 and the International Space Station. This will initiate a couple of hours of leak checks, the pressurization of the vestibule, the small passageway between the Soyuz and Prishal that will lead to the hatch opening and the arrival on board the station for NASA's Johnny Kim and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zubritsky. So rendezvous and docking went by the book, no issues at all with the Soyuz spacecraft. Docking occurring at 3:57 a.m. Central Time, 4:57 a.m. Eastern Time, as the two spacecraft, the station and Soyuz, flew 262 miles over western Russia. With that, we'll wrap up this broadcast and point you toward our hatch opening broadcast. In about 2 hours from now, we'll be back on the air at 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. The procedures to begin the opening of the hatch should occur about 20 minutes later. The three newly arrived crew members, Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zubritsky, will float on board. They'll be greeted with some congratulatory comments from officials at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov, as well as the spacecraft communicator here in Mission Control in Houston. We'll bring all of that coverage to you about 2 hours from now. So join us then, but for the meantime, we'll close out this broadcast with the successful docking of Soyuz MS-27 to the International Space Station. This is Mission Control Houston.
Alexei, please stand by and please do not reconfigure COM. We will give you an additional go for that. All right, copy. Copy.